Hey everybody, Big Ankovich here. It is time for another episode of That Carnivore Guy. You know, Marshal Latham, he's that carnivore guy. Let's go see what that carnivore guy is up to this week.
Hey everybody, Marshal Latham here. I'm going to call this week 8. I kind of lost track of how many weeks and the weeks that I was doing this. I started doing this weekly video at I think it was the last week of December of last year, and I counted it on the calendar, and this should be my report for week 8 of being that carnivore guy. That's right, I'm that carnivore guy. Or I should be that carnivore guy. It's kind of an aspirational thing when I say that I'm that carnivore guy, because that means that I'm living the carnivore life. I'm doing the carnivore things, and that is my state of being. It is a work in progress. It is something that I'm trying to do. And I would say, other than one thing that I'm going to talk about, I've been doing that as far as what I've been eating for my meals and stuff like that. However, I have to confess, an old, not an old friend, an old enemy, an old a monkey on my back, reappeared this week. And so, honestly, it's like a drug deal was going down. But it doesn't, that's not how society would look at it. And I'm not really saying that it's like a drug deal. It's not like I was doing cocaine, but it's similar in the fact that how it happened. So I used to drink a lot of Mountain Dew. I think Big also had done that before he went carnivore. And all these soda places, but especially like Mountain Dew and Dr. Pepper, it seems like they keep coming out with all these different sub flavors. Anyway, I'm not going to go through them all, but there's this flavor that I guess it was out before, like last summer, and then it came back, and it's been available. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want you to go seek it out. It's kind of like Baja Blast, but it's a little bit different, and it's really good. And there's somebody was drinking. I'm like, what's that? And I shouldn't have even said anything, right? I should have just looked and left. But it was kind of we were all kind of waiting around. And I said, what's that? That doesn't look familiar. He says, oh, it's this new flavor of Mountain Dew. You want to try some? And again, I should have said no, but I was curious. And I took a sip of it. And I said, wow, this is really good. It's really got a lot of flavor in there. It's really good. It doesn't take away, from it or whatever. And yeah, that was it, man. He said, oh, I got another one here. First taste is free. It was that kind of a thing where he had one, he gave it to me. And, we did our little meeting thing with a bunch of other people. And then I took it back and I drank the whole thing. I really liked it. And so for the next few days, I kept stopping on my way to work and getting a couple of these, a couple bottles of these Mountain Dews. It was like I was back. I was addicted again to the soda. It was like, I was a recovering addict, and somebody gave me a little taste, a little bump of the old Mountain Dew. But in several situations, I've avoided drinking soda, like for the last year or so. But I don't know, it was just something about, try this new flavor. That's how they get you. And so, yeah, it hasn't been a good week for me on the scale. Other than that, I ate fine. I ate, carnivore. I didn't, go off the rails and start, eating pies and cakes and ice cream and cookies and all that kind of stuff. I was good with everything else, but I kept going back and getting these sodas. And it's pure poison, right? It does your system no good. It's even worse than sugar. It's the corn syrup and all that. And I know that. I know that. It's in my brain. I know how bad soda is for you. Sugar soda. Well, all soda, but especially sugar soda. And but man, I stopped. This weekend, I didn't have any, but it came with the withdrawals. I started getting headaches. On Saturday, I had a headache, and I took some ibuprofen or whatever to get rid of it. But that tells you something, right? If you stop eating something or stop drinking something, and you have withdrawal symptoms, that's a problem. And so, yeah, not only the sugar, but the caffeine and everything else. So, yeah, I went down the hole this week, and it showed when I weighed myself this morning. I was up 3.4 pounds. So all that work that I've done is gone. It could have been worse, man. I was expecting a lot worse. And it's probably because everything else I was doing right, but I was still drinking this soda. So, it was bad. And I'm sure any progress my body was having in healing is back to ground zero as well. And so I'm going to have to build that back up. But yeah, I'm sorry to have to report that. But I have to be honest. I have to own up to what I'm doing good and to what I'm doing bad. And so it hasn't been a good week for me. And one of the things going forward for the month of March, and it's kind of an anniversary, right? The March, not only last year at this time did I start getting back on the wagon. No. Then I start getting back on the carnivore train. Let's put it that way. It was March, but it was March a few years earlier when I started, and March has been a very good month for me. Health-wise, I've been able to really go strong and do good things in March. I don't know what it is about the month of March, but my wife suggested, I didn't even think about it. I was just going to keep on going with what I've been doing other than drinking the soda. But my wife said, hey, do you want to do in March? Do you want to do the beef, butter, bacon, and egg? We could do that together. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down with that. We can do beef, butter, bacon, and egg, which would include seafood as well. And so that's what we're going to do starting in March. I kind of want to start this week. I might start getting that way, but there are some things like my wife got some chicken drumsticks, and we have some pork that we should probably finish up. So that's what I'm going to kind of work on this week. Still be carnivore, still be good. Don't drink any sodas. I'm off the soda. I've went through my withdrawal symptoms, so I should be off of the soda right now. But yeah, just do carnivore and eat some of this stuff that's not beef, butter, bacon, egg, or seafood. And starting March 1st, which it happens to start on a Sunday, so that's pretty cool. We're going to start the beef, butter, bacon, and egg for the whole month. And I'm not going to deviate. My wife and I are going to support each other in that. And so that'll be really good. And I appreciate her support. I appreciate her suggestion. And yeah, we're going to rock March, man. We're going to make it something and, progress me forward where I can just kick butt after that as well. So, I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be a great thing. The other thing that I'm going to buy with that is I'm going to walk every single day in March. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to get my exercise in. Now, that doesn't mean, I don't know how many, I'm not going to have maybe I'll have to think about that. Maybe I will have a minimum step count that I have to achieve every month or every day. Yeah. So let me think about that a little bit, but I'm I'm going to make it a point to get out there extra, not just walking for work, but the extra walking, which I haven't been doing. Anyway, these since it's a weekly video, I seem to be going longer than usual. I still meant to make these quick videos, but I guess this week I had to own up to, I don't want to give you a false impression that, I'm just going strong, and I don't have any problems. I don't have any temptations. I don't look for the temptations, but this week it hit me, and I've tried to make amends, and I'm going forward now. That's all I could do. I can't go back. I can't change what I did, but I can go forward and make it work. Maybe I should start taking pictures again. Maybe I should do a commitment where I'm going to take at least one picture a day of what I'm eating to share with you here on these videos. But we'll say I did take one picture this week. We got out some of those ribeye steaks that we had cut up, and my wife and I had that for dinner the other night. And I was dipping it in butter. We each had our little container of butter. So I took a picture of the piece of steak with drenched in butter. So anyway, that was so good. Like, we had some older steaks that we had in the freezer previous to that, and they were fine. They were not terrible steaks. They still tasted fine and were good. But man, when I took that first bite of this ribeye steak, that we cut fresh off the rack or whatever, man, it was like candy. It was so good. It melted in my mouth. It tasted so good. And it had the butter. Well, I don't know if that first piece I had butter on it, but and with the butter, it was even more like candy. Oh, so good. Why did I drink the soda? That's I guess more so in real life, or for real, like candy. But that's going to cause me problems. That's going to cause me to go backwards in my health rather than forward. So we're done with that. And that's my report this week. I guess I didn't take a shot, but I guess I had too many shots of soda. Big knows what I'm talking about. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Okay, there you go. All right, Marshall. Well, I'm going to come at you, man. You can't do that. You can't do this stuff to yourself, especially not anymore. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, you shared with us your blood results. You went to the doctor. You had them check you. And what did you get? You got 5.9 on your A1C. 5.9 on your A1C makes you pre-diabetic. And your insulin was 39.1, where is outside the standard the highest it should be is 24.9. What is it that raises your insulin and your A1C and makes you pre-diabetic? Yeah, it is sugar, corn syrup more so. Don't do this to yourself. You got to take care of yourself. You can't do this. The number one risk factor for a heart attack is type 2 diabetes. It's like 10 times higher of a risk factor than any cholesterol. You get on the carnivore diet and people are like, oh, what does your cholesterol look like? Probably looks terrible. Oh, you're probably clogging your arteries. No, you're not. That's not the problem. The problem is the inflammation and the issues that are brought on from drinking Mountain Dew, from taking in sugar, shooting your insulin up, shooting your A1C up. That is the quickest way to get yourself into the hospital or into the freaking morgue. Okay, Marshall? So just, you can't do this. Your family depends on you too much for you to just keel over from a heart attack sometime soon because you're enjoying the soda. So next time when the dude says, "Hey man, you want to try it?" You say, think in your head, "I'm that carnivore guy." Would that carnivore guy do it? No, you need to be that carnivore guy. That carnivore guy would say, "Oh, no thanks. I don't drink soda. But thanks. I was just curious." Just don't do it. Trouble is for a while now, you're going to have cravings. Because, yeah, that's what happens. As soon as you let the sugar in, the cravings come. You're going to be wanting that stuff. I mean, that's the main reason why you were going back again and again and again throughout the week, getting more and more of those, is because you opened the door. You gave yourself a taste of that sugar, and then you're back at it. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to fight it, but you got to do it. Think of that carnivore guy, what he would do, and think of your family, what they would do without you, because you're asking for it. You don't want it, but you're asking for it. So be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. That's what they say. So watch out, Marshall. We want you to be around. Don't get back onto that and, just batten down and really dig in. You got this. You can do it. We believe in you, and we want you around to be doing that carnivore guy videos for a long time in the future. So, don't let these warning signs get unheeded. The sign that says, "Be careful, it's a curvy road." Don't just ignore that, because you might fall off the cliff. We don't want you to. You got this. So stick to the steak dipped in butter. Much better for you. Keep yourself full so that you can't give in to those cravings. Just stay full. It's the best way, if you ask me. All right. You can do it, Marshall. We believe in you, and we'll see you all next time on Big Anklevich on Health.